This here is a 4K webcam the size of lip balm, and it might be the last webcam that you're ever going to buy. The Insta360 Link 2C Pro is the fixed desk version of Insta360's new flagship webcam lineup. See, there's no gimbal on this one. There's no motorized tracking arm, just a very small, very powerful fixed camera that sits on top of your monitor and does all the work through software and AI. Now, it does sell for approximately $200 right now, but stay tuned, I've got an offer for you. We're going to go through everything that matters. We're going to talk about the sensor, the audio, the AI features, and whether this actually delivers. So let's start with what makes this sensor genuinely different. You see, the headline is 4K at 30 frames per second, but what actually matters is how it gets there. You see, the Link 2C Pro uses a 1/1.3 inch sensor, and that's the largest sensor in its class for a webcam. A larger sensor means more surface area to collect light, which directly improves your image in anything less than perfect conditions. Now, on top of that, it has dual native ISO. You see, most cameras have one native ISO setting where the sensor performs cleanest. Dual native ISO, though, means that there's two of them, which extends the camera's clean range in both low light as well as normal light without falling back on digital noise reduction alone. And HDR is built into this camera, which helps when part of your frame is bright and part of it's dark, kind of like a window beside you or behind you, and it keeps both of them in range rather than blowing out the highlights. Autofocus uses phase detection. That's the same technology in both mirrorless and DSLR cameras via what Insta360 calls their true focus system. It locks fast and stays locked as you move, and there's actually a natural bokeh mode which softly separates you from the background without requiring a green screen. It's software driven, but it reads quite well on video. The aperture of the Link 2C Pro is f1.9 with a 24mm equivalent focal length, and it gives you an 83-degree field of view. But now let's talk about the audio. You see, webcam audio is an afterthought on most cameras, but Insta360, they didn't treat it that way here. You see, this 2C Pro has two microphones in a dual mic array, one omnidirectional and the other one directional, and they both work together. And the system uses a beamforming and AI noise cancellation system to isolate your voice and reduce background noise in real time. So you do actually get 4 pickup modes: standard, which gives you balanced voice clarity with light noise reduction; wide for picking up multiple people in a room; focus, which tightens the pickup pattern for noisy environments; and original, which is minimally processed for situations where you want the full natural sound. And this dual mic array here is genuinely better than what you get from most built-in webcam microphones, though for serious work you still will want to use a dedicated microphone itself. Now let's do those same 4 modes, but playing some ambient noise of a background busy cafe. And now here's the standard setting with a background cafe noise. The cafe noise is coming from in front of the audio camera itself. It's beside me, and now I'm going to move it behind the camera. So this is standard mode. And now this is wide mode. I've got the phone playing the sound in front of the camera, and now I'm going to move that to behind the camera. Now this is wide mode with sound coming up behind the camera. Now this is focus mode with the noise as well in front of the camera, and I'm going to move that sound to behind the camera, and you should be able to hear less of that ambient noise from the background. And now here is original audio sound with that background noise as well in front of the camera. I'm going to move that to behind the camera, and you should be able to hear a lot more of it happening as it captures a 360-degree sound of everything that's happening inside of this room. Right now you are listening to standard, and in this mode it basically says standard is for general use, captures surrounding audio, enhances and emphasizes voices, and slightly reduces background noise. And now this is the wide audio mode. This mode, Insta360 says, is for single and multi-person meetings or live streaming. It captures and enhances all voices in front of the device and automatically suppresses environmental noise and voices coming from behind the webcam. Now, this is the focus mode, and this one says best for noisy environments such as workstations or cafes, features a more focused pickup range, prioritizing and enhancing voices when approximately 1 meter in front of the device, and automatically suppresses environmental noise and other voices. And this is the original mode, and here's the description. Suitable for scenarios requiring high fidelity audio, captures surrounding sound without applying noise reduction, presenting the original audio as accurately as possible. And this is the low light sensitivity of the Insta360 Link 2C Pro. As you can see it doesn't look great, but I'm going to be honest with you, every light is off except for a little bit of an orange ring on a computer display over there and a small window that is frosted that is barely getting enough light into this room, let alone me walking around in here. It's just definitely not something that I would want to do without turning on a light. So you can see how good the sensitivity of this sensor is on the 2C Pro. And one of the cool things about having such a good sensor on a 4K webcam is that you can have digital zooming in. So you don't always have to have the camera perfectly placed distance-wise in order to be able to get the best composition of your video. So what Insta360 has done is they have a button here that talks about auto framing. So this uses artificial intelligence to see where you are. And if you happen to be slightly off center, then the camera is going to digitally zoom in and bring you, closest to the center as possible. So now if I change that up and I reset the view here, you also have the ability to do that manually. So if you wanted to manually go in and change the composition a little bit and get that television screen at the back perfectly centered, then you can do that as well. Now, again, as I said earlier, the camera does have AI smart features in it. So here is what you can also do. If you're not at that camera, you can go into the settings and then go into gesture control and talk about auto framing, whiteboard, and or zoom. So you can see here, there is a full hand open to auto frame yourself, a peace sign for the whiteboard, as well as a finger up and a thumb out to do the zooming function. So now that that is enabled, I can go ahead and put my hand out. I see the little camera green light flash. It now shows as cyan or blue, and the auto framing is now enabled. For me to remove that auto framing, I can go ahead and disable that function. So now it's stuck at that feature. However, if I just go ahead and click on the zoom or change the zoom function, then I can do that and go back into the original mode. Now, let me see if I just move my hand up, I can zoom in, or if I move my hand down, it's zooming out, you see? So I can go ahead and switch that as much as possible. Now, don't go quick, go a little bit slowly if you need to, but you'll now see that that is set. And for those people who want to use some of the beauty filters, you can totally do that as well. And what you would do is you would be running the Insta360 Link controller software. And this one has a virtual webcam piece. So let's just take a quick look here. I can go into effects, and let's say that I wanted to do the background blur. All right, so I can go ahead and do that. Now this is super strong and I can change the intensity. So now if I do it just enough, you can see that this is going to be looking very close to like a mirrorless or a DSLR camera. But in order to get this type of feature and functionality inside of your software, you can't configure that software to connect directly to that webcam. You have to connect to the virtual webcam. So let's go and look inside of Ecamm Live. And what you'll see is I have here, I've got the camera and then I've got the virtual camera. So if I take a look here at the text on the television and screen background. If I click on the virtual camera, you'll see that it's a little bit more blurry. All right, so that is how you're going to use the software settings. Now, if I wanted to, let's say, for example, here's a portrait filter. So it kind of darkens and changes the background a little bit and really emphasizes and focuses on my face. And if you want to use some of the beauty filters, you've got a bunch of different beauty filters over here. So I'm just going to do this. Yeah, you could use this if you want to.
The other integration worth calling out is Stream Deck support. So if you already have a Stream Deck in your setup, you can control the Link 2C Pro directly from it. So you can switch presets, adjust exposure, trigger AI modes, or manage multiple cameras from one piece of hardware. So for anyone who has a more complex desk setup, this level of hardware control is genuinely useful. Now, this is a fixed desk webcam. It's not going to follow you across a room, but if you spend your day at a workstation, on calls, recording content, running meetings, or streaming from a desk, this is genuinely a strong piece of gear. Now, the 1/1.3 inch sensor puts it in a completely different image category to most webcams, and that dual beam mic forming array is better than average. The AI features are real and useful, not just like a spec sheet filler, and there's so many other features that really
really, truly bring this to become the top world-class USB webcam. Now, here's the thing, $200 retail price, but Amazon Prime Day is coming up and the Link 2C Pro drops to 150 bucks. That's 25% off, and this deal extends across the full Link 2 lineup if you're comparing options. So if you'd like to support this channel, click on the link below in this description. It's not going to cost you any extra money, but Amazon will share some affiliate referrals to me as I am an affiliate with them. But remember, the sale runs from June 23rd through July 4th only. So if you've been considering a webcam upgrade, this is your window. Now, if you found this review helpful, please drop a like and subscribe if you're new. Any questions about the 2C Pro or how it compares to the gimbal-based Link 2 Pro, just leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. Now, what I need you to do next, though, is if you really are interested in this camera, I want you to go ahead and click on this video over here where I compare the Link 2C Pro with a couple of other high-end USB webcams.